Hi, my name is Nikos, and let's finish what we started. Today's video is a bit of a throwback. It is the finale to the Halo series weapons ranking video series. That's a mouthful. I told y'all I'd finish this series, and in this entry, we finally cover Halo 4 and Halo 5's weapons sandboxes. As for Infinite, we've already covered Infinite's weapons in a previous video, link is below, but I will be adding those resulting rankings to the final tier list chart at the end of this video. As usual, the audio and video recordings come from last year when I recorded them, and I left it that way to ensure consistency throughout the series. This is a series more than a year in the making, so without further ado, let's finish this tier list. Welcome back to another edition of ranking all 198 mainline Halo weapons in a tier list. This is the finale, we're almost done here. And if you're into videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe for more. You're not going to be disappointed. Alright, let's get into it. We're starting with Halo 4. Now, Halo 4 introduced some pretty weird features into the Halo series. It introduced, well, I wouldn't call them weird, more like unorthodox and sacrilege. Especially the custom loadouts, where they tried to make Halo kind of more like Call of Duty. Now, this effectively totally changed the Halo sandbox by buffing the normally weak weapons to get them on par with each other, to ensure that the custom loadout weapon selection was pretty well balanced. They still kind of failed at their mission, but we're still going to rank all 29 of the weapons. Now we're going to kick it off for the 90th time with the assault rifle. Now, I'm pretty sick of talking about the assault rifle, but this one is a B tier. Now, this is perhaps the best assault rifle in Halo history, probably aside from Halo Infinite, because this thing shreds at close range. Now we're moving on to the battle rifle. Are we recording? Yes, we are. That was scary. Now, the battle rifle is an S tier. The Halo 4 battle rifle is perhaps busted. Despite their attempts to buff and balance each of the weapons, the battle rifle still is the meta. It is perhaps one of the only weapons in the game to not have bloom, somehow. It is just a broken medium-ranged weapon. But I was about to keep it out of the S tier because it has the most annoying gun sound ever. It drives me crazy. Anytime you're in any sort of big map, you're just going to hear a bunch of what sounds like power drills bursting all over the map. It's horrible. It is just grating. Like, getting footage for this gun is just... it was a nightmare, dude. My ears were about to bleed. Anyway, rant over. DMR is an A. Now, the DMR was very broken when Halo 4 launched. It was the absolute meta. It was unequivocally the god gun of Halo 4. But they definitely nerfed it a bit since. It's very effective at long ranges still. Everyone used this gun to death when the game launched because it was the meta. It probably sent more controllers through walls than Wii Bowling did. After a nerf though, the BR definitely took its crown. Now for the carbine. If I can find it. Where are you? There you are. That's a B tier. The carbine is definitely a B tier. It's an effective medium range weapon, but very weaker in damage output than most other precision weapons. The time to kill on this remake of the carbine is poor when put up against the BR or DMR, and I don't often see it picked because of that. Now we move on to the light rifle. Now this is the first of the Promethean weapons. The Promethean weapons in Halo 4 are kind of duplicates of just the other weapons in the game. They're pretty much just UNSC weapon clones with weird abilities. Anyway, the light rifle, though not quite as good as the DMR, is still quite powerful. The standard hipfire of the light rifle fires a 3-round burst, which is nowhere near as effective as the scope fire, which combines the 3 rounds into a single powerful light bolt. It's a pretty effective precision weapon, so for that I'm going to have to give it an A tier. The suppressor. The suppressor is a C tier. It is the worst loadout weapon in the game by far. Bloom and accuracy is very poor on this thing. This SMG clone is fairly mediocre with a long time to kill, largely useless in campaign. I avoid this thing for sure. Now for the storm rifle. B tier. Now, I don't know why they replaced the plasma rifle, but it's pretty much just an assault rifle copy. They pretty much just threw an assault rifle into a copy machine. The stat differences between this and the AR are negligible. Why did they replace the plasma rifle anyway? Now, the bolt shot is definitely going to have to be a B tier. The bolt shot primary fire is pretty much useless. But when this weapon is charged, it releases half the magazine for a powerful shotgun blast. This makes the bolt shot have perhaps the most broken exploit out of all of the loadout weapons. But fortunately, this exploit is only possible at point blank, so that's why I'm going to have to keep it at B. Now for the Magnum. Now this is gonna have to be a B tier. The Magnum is slightly more effective than the Reach Magnum, but aside from that, it's pretty much nearly identical. Although the new sound effects are pretty trash. Actually, a lot of Halo 4's sounds are pretty garbage. Now for the Plasma Pistol. Now the Plasma Pistol is going to have to be a C tier, once again. Again, I'm not going to be describing all of the weapons, because if it's just a clone of the same weapon from a previous game, I'm just going to rate it and leave it at that. And speaking of, Needler's a B tier. Oh wait. We've run out of room on our tier list. Okay, hold on a second. Alright, that's more like it. Now let's continue. Needler, gonna have to be a B. This is so ridiculous. Look at this thing! It's huge! Anyway. Ow, that's my hand. A sniper rifle. S tier once again. What a shocker. Okay, beam rifle. A tier. Now the beam rifle makes a solid return. It's good to have it back, but it's nearly identical as the previous iterations. Now for the binary rifle. That's an obvious S tier. Now the binary rifle is just broken for broken's sake. There's not really much skill needed. It's unreasonably overpowered. It's just the same as a sniper rifle, but it trades half a magazine for one-shot kills and this obnoxious laser designator that gives away your position. But the thing actually kills anything in one hit. It's the laziest weapon I've ever seen produced. Thanks 343. Energy sword. Another S tier. Gravity hammer. Yet another S tier. Keep them coming. Rocket launcher. Again. Solid S tier. There's a lot of overpowered weapons. Fuel rod gun. Once again, gonna have to give it an A tier. And the Spartan laser. Pretty much identical to Halo Reach. That's an A tier. Now we move on to the sticky detonator. Something new. Now, aside from this being my personal favorite weapon in Halo 4, and being just the memeiest gun in perhaps the entirety of Halo, it's gonna have to be a C tier. Now, I don't know why they'd put this in a Halo game, but I'm glad they did. But I really do hate to give it a C, because it's my favorite, but it's kind of trash. The damage output, splash radius, and range, and pretty much everything about this thing makes it very mediocre. The potatoes this gun launch need a direct hit, or nearly a direct hit, to kill enemy players in multiplayer, and can stick to vehicles and surfaces for remote detonation. I don't know, man, this gun is just a lot of fun to use. I always get myself killed with it, or get killed using it, because you're a very easy target when you're holding this thing. You can't really do much back, especially at longer ranges, but it's a lot of fun, and it's pretty much just a meme. I recommend laying traps down in doorways. You'll just stump players like crazy like that. Now for the railgun. Okay, no, actually, on second thought, the sticky detonator actually gets a D. It's pretty useless. No, man, I hate to do it to it, but it gets an F. It gets an F. The sticky detonator's horrible, but I love it. It's got a warm place in my heart, okay? What can I say? I gotta be a fair man. On to the concussion rifle. That's a C tier. Once again, most forgettable gun. I bet you didn't even remember this was in Halo 4. It's just useless. Now for the incineration cannon. S tier. It's just like the binary rifle and how it's just an improvement of another UNSC weapon. It's just a rocket launcher with only one shot, but it pretty much one-shots and insta-kills every vehicle. It's just the lamest thing ever. Like, 343 was so lazy with the Promethean weapons. It's just a boring and just needlessly overpowered weapon. It's not even satisfying to use. It's just, if I could put it in the dumpster fire tier, I would, but it's just already a good weapon, so I just gotta keep it here. Now for the Halo 4 shotgun. A tier. It's the same exact weapon, but it's now with an uglier weapon model. Scattershot, also an A tier, pretty much just a shotgun copy, but it fires bouncy projectiles. And now for the machine gun turret. That's once again a B tier. The machine gun turret usually will be a B tier. Plasma cannon, D tier again. I forgot this was even in the game. Most people forget about the plasma cannon, I can't blame them. And now for the target designator. Now the target designator is gonna have to be it's an S. Like, why would I not put it at S? I think I forgot a few guns. I did forget a few guns. Now for the railgun. The railgun is an A tier. It insta-kills and direct hits. And sometimes nearly direct hits. The only debuff of it is the single shot reloads and the charge up required for firing the thing, and it also deals some light damage to vehicles, so all in all, pretty good gun. And the saw is an A tier. The squad automatic weapon is just a superior assault rifle with buffs in every category. Totally unnecessary to the Halo sandbox, but it's cool to have a light machine gun for once. It's totally awesome, dude. I love this gun. Alright, that's gonna do it for the Halo 4 weapons. As you can see, here's the whole list. It's getting pretty beefy in there, but we haven't even gotten to the Halo 5 weapons. There are tons of them. And finally, we make it to our final game. We're going to be covering the Halo 5 weapons. Now, I know what y'all might be thinking, those of you new to the channel, but I already did a video on the Halo Infinite weapons, and I'm going to be adding them to the list after this is all said and done, so you're going to get to see their rankings anyway. Now, for Halo 5, I'm going to be excluding almost all of the rec weapons. Now, unfortunately, I can't record my Xbox One gameplay, so my footage is going to be coming from the PC version of Halo 5, which only has Forge or Customs. That means I just logged in with my friend Lone, and we 1v1'd on several fun Forge maps. Now, let it be known that I had put 12 days of in-game time into Halo 5, so even though I can't show you Warzone campaign or arena footage, I believe I'm very qualified to talk about the weapons in this game. Alright, there's 43 weapons in Halo 5, Guardians. Let's get started. We're starting off with the assault rifle. Now, the assault rifle is a B tier. Now, before y'all say anything, the Halo 5 weapons won't have a Halo 5 logo on them. I'm pretty sure y'all can determine what's a Halo 5 weapon based on the colored background. Now, once again, 343 assault rifles are highly effective, this time with 4 more rounds in the magazine. Now for the storm rifle. This thing got worse, I swear. This is a D tier. Has quite a wild spread in Halo 5. It's not bad. Okay, no, it's kind of bad. Damage output is undesirable. Range is low. You get the picture. It's trash. Send it to the D tier. Now for the suppressor. Now the suppressor is a C tier. The suppressor is much like the storm rifle. Weak damage output, range, etc. I will say though, the suppressor does offer homing projectiles in Halo 5, which is a plus. You know what, now that I think of it, the suppressor from Halo 4 is actually pretty awful. The suppressor from Halo 4 is getting a D tier now. Halo 5 suppressor maintains its spot in the C tier. It's a little better than its Halo 4 iteration. Now for the Magnum. Now the Magnum's pretty good in this game. It's gonna get a B tier. The Magnum, while not quite as good as the CE Magnum is, it's very effective in both arenas and campaign. The most remarkable thing about the pistol is the high level of accuracy and control it gives out, and how well it performs at a variety of ranges. This is going to be a high B for me. I think it's a little higher than the Halo 5 assault rifle. And while I'd like to put in the A tier, it barely misses it due to being outclassed at all ranges by other weapons, such as the BR or SMG, even the DMR. Despite this, it's a great precision weapon for most ranges. Now for the plasma pistol. C tier. Shocker, I know. Alright, bolt shot. Bolt shot's a C tier. This time around, the bolt shot fires 3-round bursts of tracking hard light. It's kind of weak in damage output, and pretty limited in range. SMG. The SMG is a solid B tier. I'd say it's a higher B tier. Higher than the assault rifle, possibly. The SMG makes a glorious return to the franchise as the main loadout weapon in Breakout, which is personally one of my favorite modes in Halo 5. And it also comes with a top-feeding magazine akin to the P90 from real life. Facelift aside, this SMG shreds at close range due to a blistering fire rate. When compared to the AR, the SMG is superior at closer ranges, but with the added issues of less controllable recoil and damage drop-off at range, I'm gonna have to keep it in B tier. Needler. The Needler is also going to be a B tier. Sentinel Beam's a C tier. Battle Rifle. That's actually going to have to be an A tier. Not much has changed here aside from the replacement of that seriously annoying sound it has made in Halo 4. And the scope has been swapped out for kind of sick looking red dot sight. Halo 2 Battle Rifle. Now, no idea why they decided to put the Halo 2 Battle Rifle in this game, but that's in definite S tier. The Halo 2 Battle Rifle performs much like the original, with no recoil and far better accuracy than the Halo 5 BR. The H2 BR has a slightly reduced time to kill from the Halo 5 BR, but the difference is kind of minuscule. The Halo 2 Battle Rifle is definitely a step up, all things considered. And from multiplayer, I've found it performs noticeably better in both my hands and the enemies. I'm gonna have to give it an S, but the reason it's not a double S like the Halo 2 Battle Rifle is due to Halo 5 just has plenty of precision weapons to counter it. Meanwhile, Halo 2 didn't. There was just the battle rifle. And Halo 5, you can counter it with a lot of different weapons. The light rifle is going to get an A tier. 3-round burst removed for a single shot, fire mode and hip fire, and, well, it's okay, I guess. Very bland stats, on par with a BR. DMR, solid A tier. I expected this. Okay, now onto the carbine. Now the carbine is an A tier. Carbine good. Moving on. Saw is definitely an easy A tier. Brute plasma rifle. Brute plasma rifle is going to be a B. The brute plasma rifle returns and it kind of slaps a little. Rocket launcher. That's going to be an A tier. Very pointless reskin and kind of crappier stats. Moving on to the next one. Spanker rocket launcher. Now the Spanker, that's going to be an S tier. Thank you 343 for coming to your senses with this one. The Spanker is just plain better and better looking than the new hideous rocket launcher. Now onto the incineration cannon. Once again an S tier. I mean, the incineration cannon is just broken. It has alternate firing modes this time around, which makes it a little less overpowered. It can lob small projectiles with the press of a trigger, or exhaust a full charge with the charge up. Now for the fuel rod gun, this gets an A tier. The grenade launcher returns from Halo Reach, it's getting a B tier. The Hydra, new anti-vehicle, anti-everything weapon, sent straight to the F tier. Man, this weapon had so much potential, but it's just way too lame. It's mostly the reload speed and low damage output that brings it down. Plus, to at all be effective, you have to wait for the slow lock-on to set in, and by then the enemy probably already shot your head off, so the only advantage the Hydra has is its ability to lock onto air vehicles. But the missiles themselves do such little damage, it's just not even worth your time. Anytime I empty the magazine on the Hydra, I immediately throw it out so I don't have to wait till the next Ice Age to fire the dang thing again. Now for the Plasma Caster. Plasma Caster's an A tier. No, I like the Plasma Caster. The single-shot fire mode lobs small, explosive mini plasma grenades which are great for dealing with clusters of enemies, and vehicles alike. A full charge shot, however, fires a large, sticky projectile that makes things disappear for the cost of... Wait, only one round in the magazine? Just like a normal shot? There's no reason to even use the normal fire. I'm not gonna question it, it's a pretty good weapon. Definitely useful at clearing out campaign enemies, but also equally effective in multiplayer. Now we move on to the energy sword. That's an S once more. Gravity hammer is an S. And golf club is another S. Mostly because it's just the gravity hammer again. The shotgun's an A tier. Even though they removed a shell from the magazine capacity, so it's only got 5 shells now, it's still a very useful weapon. Now for the railgun. That's an A tier. Scattershot. Also an A tier. Scoping, or... I'm sorry, smart linking with the scattershot slightly tightens pellet spread on this iteration, but aside from that there's not much to write home on. Now for the Wicked Grasp, which is a hunter arm weapon. It's the blue hunter arm. All it takes is 2 bursts from this weapon to kill a fully shielded Spartan, and it's even more intimidating on Legendary when the hunters have it themselves. As with all turret weapons, mobility leaves quite a bit to be desired, but it's still pretty good. I'm going to give it a B tier. Now for the Berserker's Claw, which is the red hunter arm. This is going to get an A tier. Now the Berserker's Claw fires explosive fuel rod projectiles, much like a hunter normally would from the series. It's kind of busted and overpowered in damage output, so I'm going to have to give it an A. Now for the Sniper Rifle. Sniper Rifle's an S tier. Beam Rifle, yet again another S tier, or I mean A tier. Now the Halo 2 beam rifle, why is this gun here? Like, was anyone clamoring to get a Halo 2 beam rifle when we already have one in the game? Regardless, it's an A tier. It's very similar to the Halo 5 beam rifle, but it's just a little better, and it looks way better. Alright, now for the binary rifle. It's nerfed a little, but it's still an S tier. It's different from the Halo 4 version. It no longer offers the traditional one-shot kill. Instead, it fires a short, sustained beam. It can disintegrate enemies in one burst, but you really do have to keep that beam steady. Now for the Spartan laser. Once again, an A tier. Chain gun turret, also going to be a B tier, much like the other machine guns in the game. The plasma turret, D. Man, they really never got around to buffing this gun. These turrets really do all feel kind of similar. Rocket turret is definitely going to have to be I'm gonna have to give it a C. Not only are you an easy target, but you can't even reply to enemy infantry at any sort of distance. I mean, it's sort of okay at dealing with vehicles, but the chain gun turret just handles anyone shooting at you much better, even light vehicles. I mean, I guess the rocket turret only has a niche purpose against tanks and stuff, but the moment you fire it, you can't really dodge if the tank shoots back because you're moving so slow. Yeah, it's kind of garbage, but the mounted rocket turret itself fires 6 rockets, and when it's detached, it splits it into a 3-shot rocket launcher, so, you know, it's okay. Pretty forgettable, though. Now for the Gauss turret. Gauss turret's going to be a B tier. And if it was a Halo 2 Warthog Gauss turret, then it would definitely be an easy A or even an S. But the Gauss turret in this game is... it's okay. I mean, it can kill many things in one hit. It can knock out vehicles. But it's not quite... it's kind of on par with the chain gun. And accuracy and range. It's kind of on par with the chain gun. I gotta give it that. Now for the Splinter turret. Now the Splinter turret is also a B tier. There are a lot of turrets in Halo 5. They went crazy with the turret button. The Splinter turret is our first Forerunner turret in the entire series. So far, the only one. It's kind of weird. It fires arcing explosive bolts of hard light, which output significant damage. The turret also has an impressive ammo capacity when on foot that can be quite useful at dealing with vehicles. Now for George's chain gun. This is broken and overpowered. That's an S tier. The turret is so broken, it comes complete with a damage boost, and you get a free kick from the server, guaranteed. You gotta love it. And now finally, for the Halo CE pistol. The coveted CE pistol finally returns in Halo 5, and it looks just as low poly and garbage as the last one. Performs virtually identical. Some of the animations are changed, but we're not going to get into details. It's pretty much the same thing, but it will never take HCE's Magnum's crown because it can't knock out vehicles, and it doesn't have an overpowered supremacy over the game like the previous one did. Also, it's a lot rarer, so you're not going to find ammo lying around as often, and when you get it from the rec stand in Warzone, or you get it in arenas, it doesn't come with a lot of reserve ammo. You're going to be running out pretty quickly. So it's not nearly as ridiculously overpowered as the SSS HCE Magnum. So I'm going to give it an S tier. It's a great pistol, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. But one thing to note about the Halo 5 HCE Magnum is it does come with a speed boost. Whew! That's it. These are all of the weapons from Halo CE to Halo 5 on the tier list. As you can see, here's a good view of all of them. One thing I find interesting from this list is you might find the 343 weapons are all kind of overpowered compared to the Bungie weapons. Alright, there we go. All the Halo weapons, including the Infinite weapons, and weapon variants from Halo Infinite, onto a single tier list. This is a lot to take in. It's kind of overwhelming. Oh, I almost forgot. The Halo Infinite chain gun turret. Yeah, that's just going to be a B. It's kind of just like the other turrets. There we go. Now, as can be seen, the best weapon is obviously the Halo CE Magnum, very close to rivaling it. This isn't SSS, but it's not quite the CE Magnum. Is the variant to the Sentinel Beam. I forgot its name, but I called it the Sunbeam. It's just broken. And then at the very bottom of the list is the worst weapon in Halo history, and that would be the Ravager Rebound, which I rated in the coveted dumpster fire tier. Congratulations, Ravager Rebound. You suck so bad. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider liking and subscribing. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope y'all have a great one. See ya. Hey guys, Nikos from the future here. Thank you all for watching the video and supporting the channel lately. Thanksgiving just passed, and with that, I'm very thankful for each and every one of you. My dream is to entertain others and build a fun community, and thanks to y'all, it's been very possible. We recently surpassed 40,000 subscribers, a number I never thought would ever be achievable. Thank you all so much. Normal uploads are continuing soon, and I look forward to seeing you there. Alright, see y'all.